Alright, so today I'm going to run some quick manual CMYK separations for screen printing. I've been looking for a new CMYK project to print, but I've been coming up with blanks. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and print Mother Miranda, because I've really been into this portrait ever since Village. So basically, this process seems a little bit overwhelming when you're trying it for the first time, but essentially it's just the same 4 steps over and over again. It's very repetitive, to be quite honest. But once you run through it once and you get it down, it's pretty simple. So I'll go ahead and I'm gonna throw this in a video just in case anyone is looking to attempt this process on their own. Maybe this will help them out. So I'm gonna do a little quick process. I'm gonna crop this down and then up the DPI as well. And then we're gonna adjust the image size and we're gonna up the DPI to 300. I've been processing a lot of images for other people lately and doing a lot of screen work for other people. And the 72 resolution images are seriously going to drive me nuts one of these fucking days. Let's go ahead and clear the guidelines. Make a copy of this in case we screw up at some point. We'll have an original just saved right there. And what else? Oh yeah. I'll set the parameters to my preferred screen printing dimensions, which is going to be, this is the wrong one. I want canvas, not image size. I do that every time. This is going to be 13 inches by 19. There we go. Slap a white background so we don't have to stare at those squares. Way too much. And let me go ahead and get a new document here so we can place the original and just compare our colors at the end when we're done. Go. So drag it, drop it, and we'll set this one aside for later, just so we can compare our colors and see what it looks like. Alright, so now we will go ahead, go to image, mode, and then convert this to CMYK. Do not merge. Go to our channels platform, and like I said, this process is basically 4 easy steps. I'll go ahead and run through the 4 steps right now with the cyan channel, just for those who want to get the basics down and check out. So basically what you want to do is you want to go to each of these channels one by one, and you want to go ahead and duplicate them. So we go to cyan, right click, duplicate, hit OK, and we'll come down to the cyan, select it, double click, set this to spot color. There are going to be some variations based on the channels. So you're going to set each one to spot color. The cyan, the magenta, and the yellow are all going to be set to 5%. And for the color, you're going to set it to the appropriate color for each channel. So we'll set cyan to 100, rest of these to 0, hit OK. There you go. So that is it. It is now converted into a spot color. And then from this point on, the next step is to select all, copy. I'm on a Windows, so we're going to hit Control A, Control C, Control N for a new document. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. Come over to Image, Mode, Bitmap. Click OK on that, and you want your input to match your output for the DPI, and have the method set to halftone screen, obviously. Click OK on that. The frequency is going to be the size of dots, the size of the dots for your halftones. I'm going to go ahead and do mine at 30 because I am a screen printing nerd and I like to see the dots blend together and do their thing. A general rule for screen printing is taking your mesh count and dividing that by either 4.5 or 5, and then that is going to give you the maximum dot size for that screen mesh. So like this here, I am going to run this on a 200 mesh count screen. I think that is a dot size of about 44 frequency. Like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and run it at 30. And then you're going to go ahead and set a different angle for each channel. This way the dots aren't just sitting directly on top of each other. The angles that I generally use are cyan at 15 degrees, magenta at 75 degrees, yellow at 0 degrees, and then black or key at 45 degrees. Those seem to work well for me. Good time for a disclaimer. I'm not a professional, nor am I claiming this is the one and only way to do it. I'm just simply sharing what works for me with you guys. So we'll go ahead and set this to 15 degrees for the cyan. And there we have our halftones. We can zoom in and see what it is doing. So we got our dots at the 30 frequency. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. And then from here, we are going to go to image, mode, grayscale for now. Again, image, mode, and RGB. And then now we're going to make a final document that we are going to use to place all our layers in. This way we can see how they're going to blend together and give us a general idea of what it will look like when we lay our colors out on the press. So we will hit, again, Control A, Control C, Control N for Windows, open a new document. Let's go ahead and drop in those halftones. Come to layer, use the magic eraser tool to remove the whites on this layer. Go ahead and label this C for cyan. We'll do a color overlay. Basically the same thing as setting up the spot color channels. Let's do a color overlay, set the cyan to 100, and zero out the rest of them. Click OK. And we'll go ahead and have those effects applied. Made me a little nervous because it froze there for a bit. And that is pretty much it. So you're going to go through each of those channels. You're going to run through those steps for each one, and then lay them in this document on top of each other. And all the colors above the cyan, we're going to set that to multiply. This way it will allow those colors to blend in together and show you what it's going to do on the press. And that is pretty much all there is to it. I will go ahead and close this out just to start fresh. Here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start the process and just find out where I am at. So CMYK. There we go. Alright, so now we're just going to go through each of the channels and duplicate them. So we have our cyan, our magenta, our yellow, and our black, which is also referred to as key. Next step, set the spot color for each of these. So double click on the layer, spot color, set the appropriate color to its respective channel. Set that at 5%, 5% for each. I don't know why I did that. 5% for the cyan, the magenta, the yellow, and then the black at 100%. 0, 100, 0, there we go. 5%. Yellow spot color. 0, 0, 100. I did not set the 5%. Too repetitive, moving too fast. Spot color. 0, 0, 0, 100 for a key. And set this at 100%. And then we will go ahead and turn all our channels on so we can kind of get an idea of what we are working with so far. And we'll compare that to the original image. It's not looking too bad so far. I'm liking the red, I'm liking the yellows. The black is a little iffy, but I think I'll let that be for now. The cyan is definitely lacking, so we'll go ahead and go to our cyan channel and open up our curves. So Control M for Windows and play around for this a bit, see what we get. And I think I'll try something like that. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. I'm liking how that is. The original image is a little duller than this, so I'm really liking how it's coming out. Alright, so we'll go ahead and minimize that. I'll just turn the rest of these off, so we'll see the channel that we're working with. And then again, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, Control N for new document, open it up, Control V to paste. This is going to be for the bitmap so we can process our halftones. Click OK. Again, 300 and halftone screen. Click OK. Frequency 15. I'm sorry. Frequency 30, angle 15. And then we'll go to image, mode, grayscale. One more time. Image mode. Oh my god. Image mode. RGB. And we'll go ahead and get a new document, which will be the final document that we will slap all our layers into. Alright, Control A, Control C. I'll close this out. No longer need this. No. Paste in our cyan layer. We'll make sure we label this so we don't get confused. Just gonna slap a C down. Double click for the layer options, color overlay. Nope. Again, moving too fast. Magic eraser tool. Remove the whites. Double click for our layer options. Apply our color overlay. Again, gonna set the appropriate color for the respective channels. So cyan here, zero out the rest. Click OK, and that is it. And we'll go ahead and move on to our next channel, which will be our magenta. So select our magenta, Control A, Control C, Control N, new document, paste that in. Go to image mode, bitmap, 300, halftone. Frequency will stay at 30 for each of the channels, and then for the magenta, we are going to do an angle of 75. There we go. Go ahead and switch back to RGB. Control A, Control C. You need this, close that out, paste it in, delete our white layer. You know, I did not apply the effects. So smart objects. There we go. Label this, double click for our color overlay. Set this to yellow. Oh, so not yellow, magenta. Jesus Christ, it's been a long day. Jesus, I even labeled it wrong too. Alright, we'll go ahead and apply these effects. And we will set this to multiply. This way that will allow the cyan layer to blend in. Let those colors blend in together and mix. And then we'll be able to see what it's going to look like on our press. Alright, so that is it. We will now go to our yellow. Second to last channel, almost done. Control A, Control C, Control N. The documents. Paste that in. Image, mode, bitmap, 300, halftone. Like I said, very repetitive. Alright, we are now on yellow, so we are going to set the angle to 0. You can either do 0 or 90. I usually just go with 0. Go lay out those halftones, back to RGB, so mode, grayscale, then again, image, mode, RGB, Control A, Control C, close that out, Control V to paste, erase the whites. Slap in our color overlay for the yellow. Set it to multiply to let those colors blend through. And as you can see, it's already coming together. The black, of course, will be the final color that will pull everything together. And then we'll see our final product. Alright, so one more time for the last time. Control A, Control C, Control N, open new documents, paste that in. Image, mode, bitmap. 300, halftone, okay. Frequency at 30. The angle for the black, we are going to go ahead and use 45 degrees. Click OK to apply those halftones. Back to RGB, so image, mode, grayscale. Click OK, image, mode, RGB, Control A, Control C. Go ahead and slap in the black and erase the whites. And there we go. I'll go ahead and label this and do the color overlay anyways, even though we pretty much see our final product there. Zero, 100. Click OK, and there we go. We now have each of our channels separated into different layers for our CMYK prints. And that is how they are going to lay down. Generally, when it comes to the press, I like to do, a lot of people like to do light to darkest order of print. So you may go with the yellow, the cyan, yellow, cyan, magenta, and then the black for the final color. So go ahead and lay that out, set this to multiply. So we can see the final products. We can go ahead and set this to normal. Then we will go ahead and take our image and compare that to the original to see how the colors are looking. Again, I feel like it's a lot more vibrant than the original. The original tends to be a little bit dull, I do like how the yellow and the reds came out compared to the original, but it's looking pretty good. And if we go ahead and zoom into 100%, we'll be able to see all those little dots mixing in and working together to make the colors of our final product. I'm trying really hard not to geek out over the printing process. Not sure if I'm going to put this to print yet, but if I don't come up with another project, I definitely will. Like I said, I've been in love with this portrait ever since Village. If this was helpful to you at all and you use this process to do your own prints, feel free to go ahead and tag me in it. I would love to see it. Aside from that, that's pretty much all there is to it. 4 easy steps, very repetitive. Once you get down the process and remember the angles, it's very easy. So hopefully this helps someone out there, and thanks for watching.